Welcome to PrimeTime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. I'm Joanne Moore, and I'm the host for today's show. I'm lucky enough to have one of our newest staff members with us, Andrea Brandeis, and she is going to be talking about an exciting program we're offering in December. Andrea, thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for being part of our staff. You bring so much positive energy to the Senior Center.
Thank you, Joanne. I am so happy to be here with you today and every day at the Senior Center.
So tell us a little bit about this exciting event. We haven't ever done anything like this before, so we're thrilled.
Great. I'd love to talk about it. So this December, we are hosting at our very own Senior Center a mini yoga winter solstice retreat that will happen at the Duxbury Senior Center on Friday, December the 9th from 1 to 3. We'll be transforming the Ellison Room at the Senior Center into a tranquil, cozy, restorative, yummy, wonderful yoga sacred space.
I want it to be December 8th already.
I know, right, yeah. And we're bringing in the wonderful Emma Boyle from Dragonfly Yoga, who's the owner of Dragonfly Yoga, who is this incredible British yoga goddess. And she will bring all of her talents and her traits to share with us, and she will be our yoga teacher and our retreat leader for 2 hours.
So what's the difference between a yoga class and a yoga retreat? Our viewers may not know.
Thank you for asking that great question. So yes, so this 2-hour retreat is not a 2-hour yoga class. It is not 120 minutes of yoga moves, not at all. We are embedding a 45-minute yoga class into our 2-hour program. That 45-minute class will be a gentle yoga program, a yoga class. It will be accessible for the non-yogi, the first-time yogi, the experienced yogi. It will also be accessible by chair or mat or both. It will be accessible for all and all ages from 0 to 110. All are welcome.
So if you've never done yoga before, it's still okay to come?
If you've never done yoga before, this is a wonderful introduction. It will be a gentle class. There will be a lot of meaningful instruction, and it's a 2-hour retreat. So not only will you have a yoga class experience, but you'll have a yoga experience at large.
So I've seen those videos, and the people come to the classes, they have the mat, their bag, the yoga outfit. What about if I don't have any of that? What do I do?
You come as you are. You come wearing something that you're completely comfortable in. You don't need to have a designer yoga outfit. You don't need to have your very own mat. We at the Senior Center have a great supply of mats that we can provide to all of our attendees. And we, of course, will also provide the chairs. And if we need to use blocks or straps, we at the Senior Center have those as well. So come as you are. Just wear something comfortable.
Now, how about shoes? Do I have to wear special kinds of shoes, or how does that work?
You actually don't. Some of our attendees will choose to take their shoes off and have their yoga class be barefoot, and that's completely fine. And some of our other attendees will choose to keep their shoes on.
Do I have to live in Duxbury, though?
You don't. You don't have to live in Duxbury, and you don't have to be a senior. That's the great thing about our senior centers. They're open to the public.
So this sounds like it could be a great mother-daughter, mother-son, father-daughter event. So it could be a really great intergenerational activity if you could have the afternoon off work.
Absolutely.
Or not work, or yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we encourage that. We want this program to be intergenerational, and we want this program to also be for men and women.
And so you said it's 2 hours long. Where do I sign up if I'm interested?
Yes, so if you would like to sign up, you call our Senior Center at 781-934-5774, extension 5716, and we are limiting this program to 30 attendees, so Emma is able to nurture our class and our retreat attendees, and we'll sign you up, and you come and join us. It will be really wonderful.
Sounds like a wonderful day. Can you tell us a little bit about Emma? She sounds like a dynamo.
Emma is wonderful, and we're so very lucky to have her come to Duxbury. So Emma fell in love with yoga 20 years ago when she was living in England. She went to her first yoga class at the community hall in her little village in England. And her teacher was 72 years of age, and that teacher was an inspiration to her then and still today.
That gives me goosebumps.
Right, right, yeah. So Emma moved, when she moved from the from England to the USA, she decided to be a yoga teacher. That's what she wanted to pursue. So she took all that wonderful wisdom and experiences from her little village community center, brought it here to the US. She went up to Kripalu, which is a wonderful yoga retreat center and a teaching school out in the Berkshires, and she became a certified Kripalu teacher. In addition, she studied under Baron Batiste and Chivary. So Emma, not to sound cliche, but Emma has said that yoga has saved her life time and time again. And so she offers that to her students. And she says that yoga is not what you experience on the mat for your body and mind. It's what you take off the mat and how you apply it into your real life every day off the mat. So she makes sure that your experience in the chair or on the mat is soulful and fun and purely joyous, but she also will provide you with skills to cope and deal and experience life off the mat. And so with her coming, we want to make sure that the environment that we're creating in the Ellison Center is a blissful, tranquil ambiance that is the platform that she works best from.
So it sounds like she's going to do a little meditation too during the class. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or what meditation is, because maybe our viewers may not know?
Sure, absolutely. So yes, Emma, embedded into our retreat will be a mindful meditation, and it will be guided. Emma will be walking us through it, and she'll be providing us some skills on how to meditate. Lots of people say, oh, they can't meditate, or I've tried, I'm not doing it right. So Emma will give us an experience that is meaningful and will teach us how to meditate. And meditate and mindfulness is being present in the present moment.
And it seems like in this time of holidays where it gets harried and busy and frantic and you're stressed out, this seems like a perfect gift to yourself and to really everybody else around you.
For sure, absolutely. That's the goal. We want to honor the winter solstice, and we want to provide people an opportunity to honor their inner light as we enter the darkness of winter. And embedded into this yoga retreat will be five solid takeaways to be lighter and brighter during the darkness of winter.
Sounds awesome. And so just to give them a little, can we talk a little bit about some of the other part of the day, or is that a surprise?
Oh, no, definitely not. Yeah, let's talk about it. So we'll have our 45-minute yoga class, and it will be on the mat or in the chair or a combination. It's up to each attendee. And then we'll be working together in groups. As a class, we'll be coloring mandalas. And mandalas really symbolize the universe, and they help for establishing a sacred space and helping focus on attention. You know, coloring's the big rage, so we're embedding that into the retreat. We'll be having a hot tea bar for hot tea offerings. We're going to be providing some wonderful, wonderful teas. Emma is an aromatherapist, so she will be bringing her own personal creations, her own aromatherapeutic scents and fragrances that she's designed for our retreat. So she'll be providing offerings to our attendees.
Can I ask a question? What's the benefit of an aromatherapy, if you know?
Well, yeah, aromatherapists believe that the scents provide healing and calmness and tranquility and wellness and health. And so the offerings that she will bring are on the spectrum of calm and relaxation. So that's what she's going to be offering to all of us. I think with a little bit of winterness to them, like some grapefruit and ginger and lemon and pine.
Some of the most wonderful smells. I can even just imagine what it's going to be like that day.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be so great because they're all created personally by her. And then she will be providing to us, the yoga retreat attendees, her yoga therapy, which is some great readings and poetry that she looks to, and she'll be sharing some of that with us as we enjoy our tea and our coloring. And then to circle to the end of our program, we'll return to our chair and or our mats for our guided meditation. And then we'll be having our closing of the retreat.
It sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe she might be able to share some books that might be helpful for people for meditation, like a book list that we could go home with? I would love to have a great book. When you go to yoga class, they're reading some wonderful readings, or you leave feeling so much lighter, but I never know where to get that book, or what would be or even the music that's played at yoga. It'd be great just to have like almost a cheat sheet, which could be a great Christmas gift for somebody.
Absolutely. So Emma is putting together for us a takeaway list. Emma's go-to books and her playlist, as well as 5 takeaways. So everybody will be leaving with resources in addition to the skills that they will have developed to get themselves through winter to be a little brighter, a little lighter, and to take their yoga off the mat and apply it to their own life.
So we're almost out of time, but tell me again the date of the event.
Yes, the program is Friday, December the 9th, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Duxbury Senior Center. The cost of this 2-hour retreat is $10.
That is such a bargain, because usually yoga classes are $15 in the community.
Exactly, and this is so much more than a class. You don't have to get on a plane and go to Costa Rica for a retreat, or get in your car and drive to Capalo. Come to the Senior Center. Emma will nurture you. The Ellison Room is going to rise up and meet you. It's going to be incredible. So for $10, you get 2 hours with Emma together in community. And we'll be enjoying yoga, celebrating the winter solstice, developing skills that we can take off the mat into our lives.
And I love the fact you don't have to be a yogi or know what the moves are, because I think that could be a little intimidating for some people, but to come and say right up front, I've never done this before, and it's okay.
Absolutely, and that's what we hope for. This is for the non-yogi, the first-time yogi, and the experienced yogi. This is inclusion.
And I love that her first teacher was 72 years old, and so really that tells us you can start yoga at any time. It's a gift you can give yourself throughout your whole life.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for planning this. I'm already signed up. I'm so excited for this event, and I hope this is the first of many yoga retreats we offer at the Senior Center.
Thank you, Joanne.
And thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for all you do at the Senior Center.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch, but the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork of our paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
Take care.
we will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Welcome back to Primetime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. We're fortunate enough to have Chris Coakley, our volunteer manager, with us to talk about some exciting intergenerational activities that we're doing with the high school. Thank you, Chris, so much for being on our show today.
Oh, it's great to be here.
So some of the things you're working on are so exciting I can barely stand myself. I really have to say it's wonderful. So the thing that you're going to be doing in December is something called Credit for Life. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, this is a super exciting program. We launched it last year with last year's senior class at Duxbury High School. We were only able to take 70 students the first time around. And then because we were so successful, the two math teachers whom I worked with, Stephanie Akadoro and Meg Gradzik, were encouraged and enthusiastic and said, let's bring it to the entire senior class. So this year we're rolling it out this month to the entire 273 person senior class. So everybody involved every one of the students will be involved with financial literacy education for the entire day on December 14th. So they will start off the day and have some keynote speakers, and then because the group is so large, they'll be split in half. Half of the students will start with the fair, which we did last year, and half of the students will start with a choice of workshops, which they will attend one, then the second, and then the groups will flip. So the students who started with the workshops will attend the fair, and the fair students will attend the workshops.
Can you tell me what the topics are for the workshops?
Oh, the workshops are great. We have 6 topics, and just a few of them are how to prepare for a job interview, which also dovetails with these students doing college interviews. It would be about what to wear and what to bring with you and how to present yourself, do's and don'ts, and how to behave and how to answer sample questions and what to do if you don't know what to answer, and how you can find ways to find the words to still come out so that you look like as if you know what you're doing and you're not going to feel uncomfortable and very embarrassed.
So I was going to say you could be 80 and have that going out for a job interview.
It's a great class for everyone. They'll also talk about the importance of a LinkedIn profile and how times have changed. Now students will be getting LinkedIn profiles in college to develop a professional social media presence, not just their fun presence in social media. So there'll be discussions of that. We have other programs, workshops that we're offering on how to navigate your college campus and understand where you would go on campus if you had different questions, if you had mental health questions, if you had advisory help questions, who would you go to if you had a question about your major, or how to get some help if you needed support for some of your classes, or what do you do if you're sick? Where do you go to find out about your finances and your student loan? So we're going to have a whole workshop on that. We have 6 of them and we have some fabulous speakers. So those were very exciting additions to the Credit for Life program this year.
So each student gets to pick 2.
Yes, so each class, each student will go to 2 45-minute workshops. We have 273 students, so each workshop will be offered 4 different times, twice for the morning group and then twice for the later in the morning group. So the people who are presenting will get an array of questions from the different students, and they'll have a chance to really give real life examples on how you can navigate these different questions and issues that you might have coming up. For example, one of the workshops is on how you plan your road to retirement, which is something a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds are not thinking about.
Right.
But before you know it, they'll be accepting jobs and they'll be faced with questions like, what is a 401k? What is an IRA? How do I know how much to contribute? What do I do with the matching? All of these things are real life situations that will give them a tremendous amount of power in the years going forward.
So the classes sound fabulous.
Yes.
Will they be YouTubed, or like I want to go to all 6 classes?
I know.
If there's a student who wants to go to all 6, how do you get that information?
Well, we can't do that now, but what we're hoping to do is we have what we call a Schoology site. The students are at the high school have the Schoology platform, which is on the computer. They're invited to a Schoology page, which is really the platform for the method in which the teachers communicate with the students. So all of the workshops and all of the booths at the fair itself, which I should tell you a little bit about, will have links to articles and YouTube videos and instructional information. So even if you're not able to attend all of the 6 workshops, you can get all the information about it and see the agendas and see the syllabi and see what it is that they were talking about in those workshops. And as far as the fair is concerned, the interesting thing about that is, as you know, we launched it last year. We had so many of our seniors volunteer there. This year we need more than double the number of seniors to run the fair, and we've had our community just come out in full force, which I'm so grateful for. We have the students go through the fair and hit each one of the booths that they would have to hit in real life. You know, real life involves finding insurance, finding housing, finding a cell phone plan, buying food, and all of these things are booths at the fair, and the students, armed with their income, which they have gotten because they've selected a career. The career
So as you come in the door, you get a career and a salary.
Exactly, exactly. They have pre-selected a career that they might be interested in. We've got salaries associated with that, and we take the monthly average salary. We deduct out expenses such as income taxes and all of your Medicare and Social Security. They get a net figure. They also are given a student loan account balance and a savings account balance, plus also a credit score and a credit card balance. So they have a few things that they're working with, but they must hit each one of the fairs and budget their balance at the end of the day. And there's this randomized wheel of life which they spin. Every student must spin it. And sometimes it's something great that pops up, like they won a $100 lottery ticket. And sometimes it's a bad thing, like they have to replace 4 tires on their car and they've got to pay for it, so they have to delve into savings a lot because they don't have the income that month to be able to support that kind of an expense. So they learn a lot that day.
So I'm going to say I am a senior center director, and senior center director, and I think I can afford a new car and I have some student loans. What about if I overspend? How do I get myself back on track?
Yeah, that's a problem, and that happens. What happens is that they have to budget by the end of the day, and if they don't budget, they have to go back and revisit booths and cut some costs. So they have found that they can save money by having roommates and renting a smaller an apartment, say sharing a bedroom and going in with 3 or 4 friends rather than having their own 1-bedroom apartment. So there are ways that they can save money. They might not buy a car, they might just decide to take the T. There are different ways that they can economize.
Or maybe they're walking to work.
Maybe they're walking to work.
You know, I think every student, whether you're a high school or a college graduate, I mean, what a great offering for anyone entering the real world, so to speak, because I know we didn't have that kind of a program when we went to school.
Yes, exactly, and I think it's one of those pivotal days in their education when they're going to say, oh yeah, I guess I have to think about that because I learned about it at school, and not a lot of people can say that.
So do you think that was the biggest aha? Like, ooh, I didn't think about that last year?
Yes, definitely. I think there were a lot of students who changed their ideas on what kind of a career they would want to go into based on what their income was, also where they wanted to go to school based on what their student loan accounts balance were. And so that was a very interesting revelation that I think a lot of students had.
Really? So this would be a great program to be offered across the country to every student out there.
Yes, and it is becoming a very popular trend in high school education where we have motivated educators who are willing to bring this in because it's all extra and it's
wonderful.
It's a big work, a piece of work to do it.
So we're so fortunate that you're so involved in the school, and today you decided to bring some seniors back to school. So it was so exciting. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, today was our inaugural launch. We're going to be running this program again in the spring. We brought 10 seniors back to school and paired them with high school students. So they had a peer who was talking to them throughout the day about what is going on in this new school and what they have for classes and what they do for extracurriculars and what they do in terms of time management and so forth. We started off the day by going to the high school, which is a new building, and a lot of the seniors had never been inside, meeting up with our buddies, if you will, being matched up, and then we went to the music department. We had a fabulous demonstration from the classes that were just running. We had one senior who said to me, I feel like I just went to a concert. It was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
And they were just practicing. So we went from that to see all of the school. We went to see the fitness rooms, and we went to see a music tech room where they were in class and digitizing some music and doing some interesting classwork. We went to the robotics and woodworking classrooms, and then we had a robotics demonstration. And then the seniors were able to go with students to the class of their choice. We finished off with a great lunch that was prepared by the students and a breakout session with the students, educators at the high school, and our seniors.
So what kind of classes did they go to?
Well, we had a lot of people who went to English classes, history classes, we had an oceanography class, and we had a history class.
And so,
and a calculus class.
And what were some of the takeaways besides, I'm sure calculus was a lot harder than they remembered, I bet.
Well, there's quite a different classroom because everything is implementing a lot of technology in the classroom now. And that came up repeatedly, was how the classroom technology really has facilitated group learning and project-based learning and the students teaching one another. And it's very different from the days when I went to school, when the teacher stood at the front of the class and lectured and everybody took notes. This is far more interactive, and they implement the technology in various ways to learn and to create learning among themselves and to kind of, go in different directions that they wouldn't have had the opportunity to do before. Even in the music classes, they record themselves and they play it back, and the teachers are pointing out, this is where we need to work on this. This is where we need to slow it down or pick it up.
So I think it's great for different learning styles. Not everyone learns being spoken to. It's nice if you can have some hand-on learning.
Yes.
And so it really seems like a wonderful way for seniors to see how education has changed.
It sure has.
And so when the seniors were at the senior center getting ready to go on the bus, it was like the first day of school. Everyone was so excited to go to the high school, and then going to the high school and seeing the connection between the students and the seniors. It was heartwarming, and I was sorry I missed the day, but wow.
Yeah, they had a great time. They were amazed at how far education has come just in the last few years in this new building, and how different it is to learn, not just to teach. Some of them were former educators. It was different to learn now, and I think that they found that fascinating. And they were at first overwhelmed by the size and the scope and the scale of the building, but then as they got to know the students and they got to be friends with them, and they kind of got to understand what they do with all of this time in the building, and a lot of them are participating in over 70 co-curricular activities and teams. They are there from early in the morning until late at night, participating in drama or music or sports or clubs, and they have this reach out into the world, which they never had before. That kind of global learning was exciting.
Yeah. So we're just about done. What do you think the big takeaway for the students was to end the show today?
They were impressed by the seniors. I think they realized that they weren't really that much different from their own family members, and that I think at first there was a little bit of shyness, but then I think the students thought it was the most fun, and they were proud. They were proud.
What a heartwarming and wonderful day.
Great.
Thank you so much for making that happen for the senior community on both sides, the seniors in high school and the seniors at the senior center. And I'm thrilled to hear we'll be doing that again later this year.
Look forward to it.
So thank you so much for all the wonderful things you do at the senior center.
Thank you.